Hey, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kenya, also known as Power in Your Curl and the Curl Coach. And here on this channel, we talk all things natural hair, spirituality, and just wellness for the modern Black woman. Yes, I like that. So my passion is helping women understand their natural hair so that they can let go of the stress, the fear, and lack of confidence that comes from feeling like you don't have control over your hair. And today we're going to be talking about something that I have deep personal experience with, and that's weak points in your natural hair. So I'm going to break down how you can go from this hair's weak, it's breaking, and you don't know how to stop it, to this. Hair is full, strong, you have healthy, heavy ends, and you feel confident in growing your hair out naturally. So if you're interested in learning how to do this for your own hair, just keep on watching. So I just want to thank the subscriber that sent this question in to me through email, and they also provided pictures of their own hair, which you guys can see here. So if you've experienced anything like this before with your own hair, you may have heard it called running ends, holes in your hair, weak spots, thin ends. I mostly know it as running ends, and it's something that many women experience. Especially if you've experienced it one time, you have to really stay on top of your regimen so that you don't experience it again. I've experienced it 3 times in my regimen, and every single time that I've had it, it's when I've kind of got a little bit lazy with staying on top of my monthly and quarterly natural hair techniques that I do. So let's dive into how you can first solve thin ends and how you can prevent them from happening in the future. So the first thing we want to talk about is solving thinning ends. And the only way to solve something is to know where it's coming from, getting to the root of the issue. So there can be 3 major factors that are causing your ends to be thin, causing them to run, and causing you to have ends that aren't completely full at the bottom. And I really want you to keep in mind your own hair care, your regimen, and also use a little bit of your intuition to figure out which of these factors apply to you, because not everything will. And I don't want you to get stressed out thinking that you have to change every single thing in your regimen just to solve this. You may only need to tweak 1 or 2 things and then just be patient. And in 3 to 4 months time, you'll see a difference in your hair. So the very first thing that could be causing this is that you are not trimming on a schedule. And by on a schedule, I mean you're not trimming at least every 3 months or every 4 months. If you're trimming after 4 months, then that's a major reason why you're experiencing thin ends. And the reason why is because hair is like a fabric. It's not indestructible. Inevitably, it's going to incur some damage as it just has normal wear and tear. And when your ends get that damage, they start to fray and they start to split. And if you don't cut out even the smallest of splits when they first happen, all they do is travel up the length of the hair strand and cause your hair to become weaker and more susceptible to breakage, because instead of there being 1 strong strand, there's 2 frail, split, damaged strands that are most likely going to break off in time as you just brush your hair, detangle your hair, style your hair, the normal things. And this is why we want to trim on a schedule of every 3 months if you have fine to medium strands, and every 4 months if you have thick or coarse strands. And I'm going to leave a free guide that you can use down below that will help you get clear on your hair identity. On this channel, almost everything that I recommend is around your specific hair identity, not your curl type. I have a video all about why your curl type is one of the least important factors within your hair care regimen. So check that out if you don't know if you have fine or normal strands or if you have thick strands. Every single time that I've had running ends, it's been when I got off of my trimming schedule and I started to stretch it out much, much longer than I should have. Most recently, it had been a good 8 months. It had been a really long time. The second reason why you may be experiencing this with your hair is stress. Stress will wreak havoc on your body from the inside out. It's something that is completely within our control. Even if you can't control what's going on around you, you can control how you respond to it. You can control how you perceive it. Stress literally will kill. So it's no surprise that it can have negative impacts on your hair. And some people, when they start to stress, it'll show in certain areas of their hair. So for me, when I start to stress, it'll show on this side of my hairline. Actually, is it this side or this side? Yeah. It'll show on this side of my hairline. I'll start to kind of lose hair right here. And I do have areas in my hair that are just a little bit more fragile at my crown and at the middle nape of my neck. It's possible that high levels of stress also impact those areas. For me, whenever I experience running ends, it's because I'm not trimming on a consistent basis. And if I'm not trimming on a consistent basis, I'm most likely stressed because I'm not on my routine of self-care. I don't know if stress also plays a part into my running ends, but I stress a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if it did. But I'm also working on that. And lastly, a factor that could truly be the cause of what's causing your thinning ends is your nutrient levels. So having low levels of iron is very common in Black women. And when you have an iron deficiency, a few symptoms of that is your hair breaking and thinning and being brittle. So if you fix everything on the outside as far as your regimen and you make sure that you're not stressing and you still notice that this is a problem for you, I would highly recommend going to your doctor, getting your blood levels run so that you can see like what are the nutrient levels in your body and see where you need to have supplements or change your diet so that you can be healthy from the inside out. Because your hair is a reflection of the inside of your body. And if there's something going on that you can't fix externally, it most likely is something internally. And I want to say as well, if you notice like hair thinning in your scalp or bald spots, that is almost always something internally, and you may be able to doctor it a little bit with external factors like oils and, growth techniques that you might find on YouTube. But if you're not getting to the root of the issue internally, it's only going to continue and probably get worse in the long run. So I highly recommend going to a doctor. And if you prefer, go to a holistic doctor, but just make sure you're getting your vitals checked to make sure that you're in the best health possible. So I've talked about how there's 3 major causes of you having thinning ends. And now I want to go through each point and talk about how you can prevent your ends from thinning again by making some changes within those sections. So first up is your regimen. Like we said before, you really want to make sure that you are trimming on a consistent basis. Trimming consistently will solve a lot of issues before they even start, and you can't heal your ends once they start to split and once they become damaged. All you can do is cut them off. So you are really doing yourself a favor just by getting them off right off the bat. And you don't need to trim an inch every single time you get a trim. Once you get to a healthy length when all of your ends are full, you can start trimming like 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. Like just trim something to freshen the ends up. So for me personally, like I said, I've experienced thinning ends before, and the last time that I experienced thinning ends, I didn't trim my hair for like 8 months, maybe even more. It was really bad. I don't even know, y'all. I got a whole video on that. You can check that out. But I went a really long time without a trim. And when I finally trimmed my hair off, I trimmed off 8 inches of hair and still hadn't got all the damage out. And since then, every 3 months, I trim as much hair as needed. I haven't even been keeping track of how long my hair is recently. I've only been trimming out everything that's unhealthy. And I'm at a point now, my hair has been pretty much nursed back to health. Whew, thank you, Jesus. And I'm going to make sure that I stay on top of my trims moving forward. But there's something else that you need to keep in mind besides just trimming your hair. There are a few other changes in your regimen that you may need to make, and they are ensuring that your protein and moisture levels are balanced. This sounds a lot scarier than it is. Basically, it just means you want to make sure that your hair is getting the proper amount of moisture and the proper amount of protein. And that's going to be a little bit different for everyone. So generally, you want to make sure that you have at least 1 moisture treatment a month and at least 1 protein treatment a month if your hair is not protein sensitive. If your hair is protein sensitive, maybe try implementing protein every 2 months or quarterly at every 3 months. But for everyone else, 1 protein treatment, 1 moisture treatment a month, minimum. Now, if your hair is on the drier, more dehydrated side, you may want to up how often you do moisturizing treatments for the month. And if your hair is very weak or very brittle and you need a lot of strengthening, then you may need to up how often you do protein treatments a month. So for high porosity hair, for instance, you may want to do protein twice a month and moisture twice a month. Or if you have heat damaged hair, you may want to do protein twice a month as well. If you're someone where your hair is just very, very dehydrated, you get what you need from your protein treatment at once a month, then you can implement moisturizing deep conditioners 3 times a month. You really want to listen to your hair, and if you want personal feedback on how often you need to be using certain deep conditioners and also just personal help with your regimen, make sure you check out my website, powerinyourcurl.com, because I have curl coaching available where I work with you and create an entire regimen for you, including up to 30 to 40 product recommendations specific to your hair identity. Or you can book a consultation where in 30 minutes I'll break down your top 3 most pressing issues in your regimen, and I'll also give you a guideline to follow so that you can create a regimen from what I give to you personally. Something else you want to keep in mind when making changes to your regimen to prevent running ends is to identify where your weak areas are and then be very cognizant of that when you're either styling or parting your hair. So for me to recover from my own thinning ends, I notice that I get them right in the middle of my hair at the nape of my neck and at my crown. So I just stopped parting my hair right down the middle. When I detangle my hair, I make parts that don't go down the middle. I do it to the side. I do it right in the middle. I do like a chunk in the middle to make sure that that is having enough strength, because with your hair, there's strength in numbers. And if you keep all the hairs together that are a little bit weaker, then it's going to be a lot more gentle on them than separating all the hairs that are weaker, because you're going to be putting that wear on them unnecessarily. So mainly the changes that you're making in your regimen, you're trying to minimize breakage. That's what's causing these thinning ends, is your hair is getting weak and then it's breaking off at a not even rate, and it ends up with your hair being uneven. So if you're someone who has really, really dry hair that even deep conditioning with heat doesn't help, you may want to invest in a steamer so that you can steam your hair once a month and you can hydrate your hair from the inside out, because moisturized and hydrated hair is less susceptible to breakage and strong, resilient hair is less susceptible to breakage. And we want to find a happy medium, which is basically what a protein moisture balance is. Now, if stress is what's causing your hair to break off, then you really want to focus on creating a regimen that supports your well-being. And when I say regimen, I mean like a daily life routine. So that could be that you wake up a little bit earlier, or I mean, honestly, I'm not even a wake up early type of person. My day starts when I feel at my best and my energy is full. So I wake up every single day, and I've been doing this now for almost 3 years, and I meditate. And it's like, oh God, it's the best feeling ever. If I don't meditate when I first wake up, I'm a little off kilter, and when things pop up throughout the day, because I'm not as centered in my power, I can give my power away to what's outside of me and get stressed and get anxious and get upset about things that aren't even in my control. And in the end, everything is working out for your greatest good. It's spiritual, not personal. It's a learning lesson for you to master so that you can move on to the next level. And I try to look at everything that I come across throughout my day as that. This is just an opportunity to show my growth. This is an opportunity for me to learn. This is an opportunity for me to practice patience. Whew, heavy on the patience. But if you can with stress, just do what you need to do. I can make a whole video about how to manage stress, but do what you need to do to feel your best and don't feel guilty about it. Getting enough sleep at night and eating a balanced diet and also exercising all really help with stress. Sleep and eating help to nourish your body so that you can operate at your peak capacity, and exercise helps to get all that frenetic energy that's in your mind and ground it out through your body so that you can be grounded and at peace. If you have a lot of racing thoughts and you don't do something externally to move your body and to like move that energy throughout your body, you're going to experience anxiety and depression and just feel like you can't control what's happening here, And again, you'll be more primed and more vulnerable to acting in a stressful way in situations that may be a bit uncomfortable. So make sure that you're taking care of you, because it really does play out in every single facet of your life. Next, with nutrition being a factor that's causing your thinning ends, this, I think, is something that we may not want to dig into because it seems like it's a little bit harder than just changing your regimen. But really keep in mind that you should at least be taking a multivitamin every day if you're not already doing so. A multivitamin is just going to zhuzh up your vitamin levels and kind of give you some support in the vitamins that you're not able to get through your food. And like I said, low iron is something that's very, very common in Black women. And I know that's like my main community. That's what we're here for, the Black women. So if that's something that you're possibly experiencing, you want to look into iron supplements. Of course, talk to your doctor first. And you can get them through pills. You can also take iron supplements through tea. Some people believe that they do absorb into the body easier that way. And something else to keep in mind is that vitamin C helps iron absorb into the body easier. So if you are going to take an iron supplement, make sure you're taking that with some orange juice so that you're just increasing the chances of that being able to get into your bloodstream. And I do also think that hair vitamins can be very, very helpful. Of course, talk to your doctor. With just helping you get the nutrients you need to make your hair stronger and healthier. The one that I recommend is the Main Choice Maintabolism Plus. It's the only hair vitamin I've ever taken, and I've seen great results with it. I'll put a picture here of how my hair changed within, I believe, like a 3-month time span the first time I started using the Main Choice, and I'll also put a link down below of where you can purchase it. But along with making sure that you're getting the proper nutrient levels, you also really want to make sure that you're hydrating your body properly, because your skin, your hair, everything will be dry if you're not quenched internally. So at the minimum, you want to make sure that you're drinking half your body weight in ounces. And a little hack to get more hydration in your body that I've been using recently, because typically I drink a gallon of water a day, but lately I've been noticing that it's hard for me to get that last 32-ounce jug, because I drink 4 32-ounce jugs throughout the day, is I use these little powders that increase the hydration because it helps your body absorb the water better. And I have noticed a difference. So I'm just going to link that down below if you're someone where it's a little bit hard for you to get your water intake. So if you're someone who's experiencing weak ends, thinning ends, running ends, make sure you look at your trimming schedule, your regimen, your stress levels, as well as your nutrition. And once you address all of those areas, I do feel that you should see a difference in the health of your hair, as well as positive improvement in those weak and thinning ends. And if you don't, then I would definitely suggest speaking to a doctor, because what may be happening with your hair could be internal. It could be your body's way of alerting you that something's wrong, and you don't want to miss that. I hope that this video gave you some clarity and some insight, and also some confidence in how you can address your own weak and thinning ends. I will personally be doing an update on my natural hair journey very soon, because I was very pleasantly surprised when I blow dried my hair out that my weak spots are getting better with time. And something else that I did want to recommend is patience. You're not going to see a difference within a month's time. It's going to take 3, 4, 5 months, because you need to see your hair grow in and see the integrity of the hair that does grow in. So make sure that you're patient in your results. And if this video was helpful for you, please be sure to give it a like. Make sure that you subscribe so you can see more videos like this. I really like the idea of you all emailing me questions and maybe even including pictures of your own hair struggles. So if you have a question about your natural hair that you would love for me to answer, you can email me at hello@powerinyourcurl with the subject line, "Can you help my hair?" That way I know exactly like what the question's about and what video it's for. And I think it would be cool if we started like a little series where I answered hair questions, so that way I can make sure I'm helping you directly. And if you're someone who thinks that curl coaching, a natural hair consultation, or even natural hair masterclasses to teach you how to care for your hair at home would be helpful, make sure that you visit my website, powerinyourcurl.com. I have so many solutions to help you. Literally, my goal is to help women feel good about their natural hair. I don't want you to feel like desperate when you you go into the store and you don't know what to buy, or when you see other people and you just want to ask them a million questions. Like, I really put everything that I know on my website so that I can help you live your life stress-free with your natural hair. But okay, I'm gonna go. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.